These days, more and more people go out to eat. Eating in the restaurant is much more convenient than cooking at home. However, according to the article, Serving Food Safety, Consumer Perceptions of Food Safety at Restaurants, hundreds of people will become victims of foodborne illness happened in restaurants each year. There was one happened very close to us. In 2006, over 600 patrons reported become ill after eating at 2 Lansing, Michigan restaurants. Personally, we went to restaurants almost every day. Most of them were Chinese restaurants. So, today our topic is Chinese restaurants' food safety issues.
So, do people work in the kitchen, separate the kitchenwares between raw meat and ready to eat food, or they will touch without washing hands?
Most of the restaurants that I worked at, they always do that because we always require that people who are touching or cutting any kind of raw meat, that they wash the tools that they're using, like the knife, the cutting board, and especially their hands before touching other kinds of food, like ready-to-eat food or vegetables or anything like that. But there was one restaurant where I worked at for one day where one of the chefs, he was cutting raw meat, and then right afterwards he cut raw vegetables, and then he didn't even wash the cutting board or the knife, and that was the main reason why I quit that job.
So you really care about this?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, if people continue to do that, where they just touch raw meat and they're just careless about touching other ready-to-eat foods, then that's just going to cause a lot of problems for the restaurant and the chef.
I read some articles that certain kind of food requires certain kind of temperatures while they are cooking. So you guys use the thermometer to check the temperature?
One restaurant I worked at, they used it on and off, but they mostly, for example, they like the red meats like beef, pork, and lamb. Once the meat was ready, they just used their finger to just touch it to see how well it's cooked, to see if it was medium rare, medium, well done. But they rarely used the thermometer.
If the people who works in the kitchen get sick, do they continue work?
It just depends on how ill they are. We ask that like the workers, like if their illness is very severe, like sick.
So that means if it's not severe, they will continue to work.
Yeah, if it's not too severe, like if it's light coughing or maybe like light coughing, then it's okay to work. But if it's like you're coughing like every second, then we ask them to just stay at home and do well.
Question, because for the Chinese restaurant, it's a many things to solve, and many they need to store many things. So I just want to ask, how do you make sure the food safety in your restaurant? Could you tell us more detail about that?
First, I have to tell you about the cooler first. Number one, the temperature is very important. You have to be under below 38. Then raw meat and cooked meat and vegetable have to be separate sections. Labels is very important. If the cooked meat have to be after 4 days, you cannot be used. Raw meat have to store at the bottom. Special chicken is the very bottom. And then vegetable have to put it in different section. just measure the date for each item.
I also have a question. You know, Chinese restaurant, they use a wok to cook something, and it's many smoke and oil to come out. And how do you make sure you would make your kitchen very clean?
In Chinese restaurant, I know after you cook each meal, have to wash the wok and wash the wok, the cooking area, and then at the night time we do the general cleaning.
Hi, today I'm going to interview a waitress in the Chinese restaurant. I have some questions about food safety in her position. Hi, what is the most important thing you think for food safety in your position?
I would consider as hand washing.
How often do you wash your hands?
I'm not sure. Maybe when I feel my hands are dirty, I wash them.
How do you wash your hands?
I will use soap and warm water.
Okay. How about the glove using? Do you guys use the glove for single use only?
Well, we use gloves every day, but we don't change them every day because it's a lot of money on the gloves, but we wash the gloves every day now.
Okay, thank you. I think that's all. Thank you for your cooperation. Compare what the waitress said and the guideline provided by the book Serve Safe. They didn't exactly follow the guidelines. According to the book, the server in the restaurant should wash their hands every 15 minutes and at least 20 seconds with soap each time.
Right. And from what the chef say, we can tell some of the people who work in the kitchen will actually continue to work even they are sick, and most of the chefs will not use the thermometer to check the temperature of the food. According to the website Center for Disease Control and Prevention, they should not to do that.
Actually, besides interviewing these three people, we had the chance to go into and taken some picture of a kitchen in one of the restaurants that we interviewed.
Oh yeah, and we find out that actually the kitchen is not exactly like what the owner described. According to what she said and the professor, Mr. Cha, the first level of the fridge can only put ready-to-eat food. The second level of the fridge can only put ground meat. The third level can only put seafood, and the bottom can only put poultry. In fact, we find out that the manager put the fish in the second level, which is supposed to contain the beef, pork, or lamb. Also, they put the vegetable on the third floor, which is supposed to contain the seafood.
Right, and I also found out that they put the takeout container on the shelf, which is only few inches higher than the ground. And they also put the beverage drinks on the shelf, which is only few inches higher than the ground. But according to the book Serve Safe, any equipments and food must put on the shelf which has to be 6 inches higher than the ground.
It seems that the kitchen design is not as professional as what they described. From this picture, we can see there are 6 kinds of different meat, but there are only 2 spoons. I think if they use the same spoon for different kinds of meat, there will be a high probability of cross-contamination.
I also find out that there's a cup in the ice can. The ice is used for drinks. It is directly served to the customer. I think it is not supposed to have a cup inside the can.
Also, they claim that they will clean the kitchen every day. But we can see from this picture, they must not do their job very well.
In most counties, the public health department has asked doctors and clinical laboratories to notify them when certain diseases are diagnosed. When you go to a hospital, if the doctors notify that you have certain disease about foodborne illness, They will call you back and report what you have eaten these days. They will start to investigate the source of the food. So that means, if you think the restaurant you go to is not clean, you can just go to the hospital and they will do the rest.